The arcade, the playground, every gamer back in the day. The place. My mom didn't let me go on my own when I was little. And in that playground was one treasure. Everyone lined up for a chance to play. Street Fighter.
You win.
Back in the day, before the Super Nintendo had Street Fighter 2, the only way to play this game was in the arcade or the neighborhood store. In my case, it was the neighborhood store where I first got to play Street Fighter 2. I stood there waiting for my mom to give me 5 coins to put into the arcade and play all I could. I sucked, so those were 5 minutes I really enjoyed. Decades later, Capcom decides to release the 30th anniversary edition. And of course, I bought it. There's no surprise with this one. It's exactly what you expect it to be. And what is that? All Street Fighters that you could find in the arcade, starting from the first one, which is a pain in the butt to beat. And you could only play versus as Ryu or Ken, and they were pretty much the same character in this release. What made Street Fighter special was the fact that it came close to what everyone wanted to see and experience with the controls. Even if you're not an expert, you may end up connecting an amazing special move. You know what I mean. Takashi Nishiyama made a life-changing, awesome digital MMA arena anime killer game. Honestly, I tried playing this one online and you can't. There is no online for Street Fighter 1. We will address that later.
Game over.
Next in line is Street Fighter 2. This release was a big breakthrough, not only for fighting games, but video games in general. First of all, you had new characters with different skills. Ryu and Ken are still alike, but have small differences, and Versus mode was huge in this release. This was a big leap in video games. The idea of kicking someone else's butt with different characters was something everyone was waiting for. All through Street Fighter 2 up until Street Fighter 2 Hyper, Turbo, Speed, Reaper, Dual or whatever the names are, you had people lining up to kick the crap out of each other. This game was huge in the late 80s and throughout all the 90s. After Street Fighter 2, we had a series called Alpha, which looked awesome for the time, and was a big change for the previous series. The anime look and the controls were incredible, making it an all-time favorite. Street Fighter Alpha could be played not only on arcade, but you could also find it for the PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast. This game also featured a ton of new characters that just looked super cool. This game was a hit among fans and new gamers. No wonder they released 3 of them. And each title always featured new characters and moves, unlike today's games, where companies release every year the same piece of shit. The last series of Street Fighter this collection includes is a game I never had a chance to play. Why? Well, this game did not travel around the world like the others did. And even if Capcom released the arcade in your country, it was hard to find. At least I never could seem to find an arcade that had it. Playing Street Fighter 3 was an experience I wish I had when I was way younger. I had no idea how cool this game was and still is. The engine Capcom created for this version was amazing. The graphical capabilities of this thing are incredible. Animations look smooth, character design and graphics are awesome, and the controls are rock solid. It's probably the Street Fighter I have enjoyed the most. Obviously, as Street Fighter does, we have an array of new characters that are all incredible. Street Fighter art has always looked awesome, even from the first title. Every new game that came out looked great for that time. But Street Fighter 3 is my favorite looking, even over the new titles that also look great. Characters like Elena, Ibuki, Necro, Oro, Sean, etc. are just fun to watch. Even if you suck at the game, just looking at it is so satisfying. This is no doubt my favorite Street Fighter, and everyone should play it at least once. I remember looking at magazines back in the day and asking myself why I couldn't have access to this game, and now you can have all of them on your computer. I think you can find it in all platforms, but I'm not sure. If you want to find out more about this release, you can watch my previous video, where I teach people how to Google things. Unfortunately, online multiplayer sucks. I haven't been able to find a match, so if you want to play with your friends, you'll need 2 copies or get together so you can share a screen. Also, I think you have remote play on Steam for this game, so if you both have a PC and just 1 copy, you can still play online all of the titles since all of them have local play. Either way, this is a game worth purchasing, but I strongly recommend you wait for a sale. Paying full price may not be worth it. This was MN with another great title worth owning. Stay retro and keep gaming.